Imagine if I informed you that currently I'm not speaking English but German, and what if my lip movements were even adapted to match the language I'm using? In this video I want to show you how I did it and also talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages.
Actually, it's pretty simple. You just have to go to HeyGen Labs and then Video Translate. There are some things you have to know, as you can also see in the requirements. The most important thing is that the video duration has to be at least 30 seconds, up to 5 minutes, so that the program has enough time to process your voice. The resolution can go up to 4K. You should avoid multiple people and also too much background music or noise. There are multiple languages supported, but it's important to know that not all languages that are supported for the output are supported for the input. So, for example, you can speak in Chinese, but you can output your voice in Chinese. You can sign in for free and then you get 2 credits. 1 credit is for 1 minute and it is always rounded up. So if you upload a 35-second video, for example, then 1 credit will be taken. Okay, first of all, we choose our video. It's this one. And then if the output language is English, I can choose between an American accent or my accent. And I choose my, and you can also take translate audio only so that the mouth movement isn't changed. And submit. The video is about 45 seconds long. And because it's always rounded up, it takes 1 credit for 1 minute. And here we go. I uploaded the video and here you can see the first problem. If I don't buy any credits and use only the free version for the trial, there are already 29,000 videos in line that has to be processed before mine. And buying credits isn't so cheap. For example, if you want 30 credits per month and pay yearly, then you have to pay $48. If you pay monthly, then you even have to pay $59. And keep in mind that the credits will be resetted every month. Now it's an hour later and it's ridiculous because the number is even higher than at the beginning. I don't know how it works correctly, but probably because the paying users have priority processing, and it depends on how many videos are processing at the moment. Okay, I will buy some credits now because it would take forever how it looks at the moment. And yeah, because of that I will start with 15 credits. And yeah, see you soon. After I bought the credits, it started processing immediately, but it took nearly 40 minutes to process a 38-second video in 4K.
Was ist, wenn ich dir sage, dass ich gerade nicht Englisch spreche, sondern Deutsch? Und was, wenn sogar meine Lippenbewegungen der Sprache angepasst werden? In diesem Video will ich dir zeigen, wie ich es gemacht habe und auch ein bisschen über die Vor- und Nachteile sprechen. Also lass uns anfangen. Imagine if I informed you that currently I'm not speaking English but German, and what if my lip movements were even adapted to match the language I'm using? In this video I want to show you how I did it and also talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. So let's start. Was ist, wenn ich dir sage, dass ich gerade nicht Englisch spreche, sondern Deutsch? And what if my lip movements were even adapted to match the language I'm using? In diesem Video will ich dir zeigen, wie ich es gemacht habe and also talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. So let's start.
Yeah, so first of all, I was pretty impressed. It's really not so bad. But what I noticed is that my voice was a bit higher than in the original video, and it also had some problems at the end while I was taking a breath with some stuttering. In a bit you can see the overlay of my face, but in this case it was really not that bad and we will test it further with other examples. And the last thing is that the emphasis at the end wasn't quite right. Instead of going down with the voice, it had gone a bit up.
Also lasst uns anfangen. So let's start. What if I told you that I'm not speaking English right now, but German? And what if even my lip movements are adapted to the language? In this video, I'll demonstrate how I did it and discuss the pros and cons of the process. Okay, let's begin.
Yes, you're right. I didn't change anything and just uploaded the same video again and got a complete different result. So it seems that every output is unique and can't be repeated. And now I will test it also with the American accent to see how it performs in comparison. But for the next videos I will only use my accent.
Imagine if I informed you that at this moment I am communicating in German instead of English. Furthermore, my lip movements have been adjusted to match the language. In this video, I'll show you how I did it and discuss the pros and cons of the approach I took. Okay, let's begin.
What's really interesting here that everything was more monotonous and it also has changed some words, but the pronunciation at the end was better.
Si te digo que no hablo inglés ahora, sino alemán, que se passe-t-il si je te dis que je ne parle pas anglais en ce moment? मैं तुम्हें बताऊं कि मैं अभी अंग्रेजी नहीं बोल रहा हूं? Cosa succede se ti dico che attualmente non parlo inglese? 私が英語ではなくドイツ語を話すと言えばどうでしょう? Okay, ich bewege mich jetzt einfach relativ schnell und schau, wie es dann funktioniert. Ob alles passt oder ob es ziemlich schlecht aussieht.
After the second video was uploaded, I got the error message that the processing failed because the face angle is too large in one or more frames. What is good in this case that the credits are refunded automatically, but yeah, this is a problem, so you always have to be visible from the front. I will try it now again with translate audio only. The processing time for the second video with translate audio only was way faster, so it took only about 8 minutes for a 31 seconds shot.
Alright, I will proceed with relative speed to assess how it functions, whether everything fits or if it appears visually unappealing.
Yeah, that sounded a bit odd, I guess. What's interesting that my voice sounded different than in the first video, and also the pronunciation wasn't so good. It was also too monotonous.
So, und zu guter Letzt möchte ich gerne testen, wie es ist, wenn alles ein bisschen mehr random ist und wenn sich auch die Lichtverhältnisse ändern. Ich gehe jetzt einfach diesen Gang entlang und spreche noch ein bisschen weiter. So, and finally I'd like to test how it is when everything is a bit more random and when the lighting conditions also change. I am presently going down this aisle and intend to keep talking for a little while longer as I proceed. So, und zu guter Letzt möchte ich gerne testen, wie es ist. Test how it is when everything is a bit more random and when the lighting conditions also change. Ich gehe jetzt einfach diesen Gang entlang und spreche noch keep talking for a little while longer as I proceed.
In this example, you can clearly see the current problems, because if the light is changing too much or your face isn't bright enough or you have too much movement, then you can clearly see the mask on the face. But yeah, this is quite a hard situation.
Also, lasst uns anfangen. So, jetzt weiß ich immer noch nicht, was ich sagen soll und bla bla bla. So let us commence. At this particular juncture, I am still uncertain about what to articulate and blah blah blah, continuing with repetitive and unimportant information.
What?
The good thing is that you can join different videos together to make better use of the length. But the bad thing is that it seemed to have more problems with the face mask at the first video, which worked out better before. It's also very interesting that the AI didn't translate everything I said at the end. So instead of the and some other words while I was thinking, it just translated it with continuing with repetitive and unimportant information.
Blah blah blah. Continuing with repetitive and unimportant information.
If you want to download the video, then you can choose between different resolutions. You can only download it in Full HD in 25 frames per second in a bitrate of about 2500 kilobit per second. Even if you upload it in 4K and a very high bitrate, it just converted it down and even changed the frame rate.
Yes, so what is my final conclusion? In general, it can be said that it really works very well, but that the devil is simply in the detail. Regarding lip movements, one often notices it doesn't quite fit yet, and sometimes even recognizes the mask placed over the face as not entirely matching. I found the emphasis and overall pronunciation to be really good. You could really tell that the software also tries to imitate the own style of speech. I can easily imagine that sooner or later there will also be a direct implementation on platforms such as YouTube, so that I can upload a video in my language normally, and that the viewer can then watch it in his own language. This of course raises a few questions, and may also make us a bit lazier ourselves, because in my case, for example, I would otherwise speak in my native language German and always speak English for the YouTube channel, and thus also acquire the English language simultaneously. However, if I no longer have to do that, then I will not learn the other language through it either. For professional use, in my opinion, it is not really intended yet, because there are still too many problems in detail. And elements like the unchangeable frame rate or the resolution, which cannot be altered, also have a minor impact on the overall experience. Finally, I would like to talk about the ethical aspect again, because voice actors are largely eliminated as a result. In this case, I consider it quite sensible precisely because otherwise you couldn't just synchronize every video. And particularly on platforms such as YouTube, you have the ability to easily overcome the language barrier. However, I still believe it's also a bit of a challenging topic. Therefore, I'd be interested in your opinion on this matter. So, you think it's good and you say yes, she has to come and that just solves a lot of problems? Or do you perceive it in a more negative manner and state that it has the potential to completely eliminate the voice actors, as well as possibly resulting in a decreased desire to learn a different language? So, if you want, I would be very happy about a comment or a like, and I hope you liked the video, and then hopefully we'll see each other next time. Hello! Continuing with repetitive and unimportant information.